Welcome to Catalan News. It's the final day of the December 21st Catalan election campaign. Parties are making the most of the last hours before tomorrow, when campaigning is no longer allowed for election silence. How post-electoral coalitions leading to the choice of a new president will pan out is a talking point for various parties. The imprisoned candidates have also been the source of much debate. Today at Catalan News, we'll get you the latest on the campaign, and we'll also have a look at how the Catalan firefighters get ready for emergencies in snowy conditions. With 48 hours until the results are known, Esquerra Republicana is still leading the race to win the election, according to some polls published recently abroad. And today, the party held a unique event, hundreds of kilometers away from potential voters, just outside the Extremera prison. Its leader, Oriol Junqueras, is still held there in custody, unable to take part in the campaign. Other parties have also spoken about the atypical situation of having contenders for the presidency behind bars or in Belgium.
Prison and presidency were the two overarching themes of the last day of the election campaign. Pro-independence Esquerra Republicana held its penultimate campaign event at the gates of the prison, where its leader, Oriol Junqueras, is being held. Around 20 candidates travelled to the penitentiary near Madrid to request the deposed Catalan vice president be freed. In fact, following an appeal for Junqueras' release, Spain's public prosecutor called on the Spanish Supreme Court to reject the request. But Esquerra politicians weren't the only ones at the Extremera gates. Far-right group Hogar Social Madrid staged a counter-protest and had to be kept back from the Catalan politicians by civil guard police. In a statement to the press, Junqueras' running mates complained about him not being able to take part in the campaign.
Que això no té a veure, en absolut, amb l'aplicació de la llei. Això és una mesura de caràcter polític, això és una mesura de caràcter repressiu, això és una mesura que té a veure amb la voluntat d'intercedir en unes eleccions.
And they're not the only ones to question the incarceration. Despite drawing short of supporting independence, Catalonia in Common leader Xavier Domènech said he disagrees with the preemptive detention of the leaders. He was joined in criticising the imprisonment by a voice from the unionist camp, the leader of the socialists.
Les decisions en matèria de mesures cautelars de presó preventiva les hem considerat des del primer moment desproporcionades.
Yet this did not stop Iceta from arguing his claim to the presidency in Catalonia. On this last campaign day, this declaration was echoed by many parties, such as Ciutadans.
Por eso esperemos que los socialistas, a la hora de la verdad, estén al lado de Ciudadanos en un gobierno alternativo y no intenten, insisto, ser presidentes o que el señor Iceta sea presidente a toda costa.
On the other end of the Catalan political spectrum, Together for Catalonia also claimed that its main candidate, Carles Puigdemont, should be restored as president. Puigdemont will soon know if there's a majority of pro-independence MPs. If so, talks will start to see if he will remain the chosen one, whether it will be Oriol Junqueras or at this point just about anyone else.
Esquerra Republicana officials weren't the only ones visiting the Extremera prison, though. 7 members of the European Parliament were also outside the jail in the Madrid region. The MEPs expressed outrage at the fact that they haven't been able to visit the 4 incarcerated pro-independence leaders. According to them, they've been trying to get permission to do so, but have had to face a number of obstacles put up by the Spanish authorities. The MEPs claim that their positions as members of the EU Parliament should allow them to visit the prison. Yet, this hasn't been the case so far. Politicians from 4 European groups were part of the delegation.
And we are from different political groups, from the left, from the right, from the center. It doesn't matter as long as we are united in our defense for basic democratic values and rights, the founding principles of the EU. That is what we all want to defend, and that's why we are here.
Que l'ensemble des députés européens peuvent aller dans les prisons des différents pays pour rencontrer les prisonniers et pour pouvoir discuter des conditions d'incarcération.
Today, we finish our series of visits to political events for each of the 7 parties expected to be in the next Catalan Parliament. First of all, let's look into Together for Catalonia, Carles Puigdemont's candidacy, which recently held an event in Barcelona. But as almost all of its events in Catalonia, the political gathering had an eye set on Brussels. Puigdemont, who has spent the last month and a half in the EU capital following his dismissal, has taken part in a number of them via video.
against all odds. No matter that President Carles Puigdemont was dismissed by the Spanish government following a declaration of independence. No matter that he is running his campaign from Brussels. Together for Catalonia's rise in the polls has left many astonished. Now, in the third position, it's getting close to the main parties on both unionist and pro-independent sides. For its supporters, the reason for this is clear.
I want to vote Junts per Catalunya because I believe in our president, Puigdemont.
Well, I think it's important that we send a message to the Spanish government and to the world, actually, that we stand by our legitimate government and by Puigdemont, who is our legitimate president.
Once the main political powers in Catalonia, Puigdemont's party was rebranded as PDeCAT after its foundations were shaken by independence aspirations and corruption allegations. In 2015, PDeCAT and left-wing Esquerra won the election by uniting on the pro-independence ticket Together for Yes, although they chose to run separately this year. Puigdemont managed to put together a ticket encompassing both independent and party candidates, which belongs to the European liberals. Their logic was simple. For the president to come back, he must win the election. A major acquisition was number 2, Jordi Sánchez. Formerly the president of a grassroots organization responsible for organizing massive pro-independence rallies, he has been in prison for more than 2 months.
Quan en Jordi Sánchez entri com a diputat al Parlament de Catalunya, no li podreu aguantar la mirada, perquè per més favors que us hagi pagat l'estat espanyol, la seva dignitat és infinitament superior.
Puigdemont video conference appearances became common at Together for Catalonia rallies. On December the 7th, though, he was able to join the demonstration against the prosecution and imprisonment of pro-independence leaders held in Brussels in person. This in the capital of an European Union that many think turned a blind eye to Catalonia. At a major rally held in Vall d'Hebron in Barcelona, Together for Catalonia gave its supporters 2 flags, the Catalan flag, but also this one, the European Union flag. This may come at first as a surprise because Catalan independence supporters in recent weeks have been extremely critical and extremely disappointed with the European Union's response to Catalonia's push for independence. But it may also be a reminder, as Puigdemont stressed indeed, that the Catalan independence movement is extremely Europhile.
And now we move on to a candidacy diametrically opposed to Together for Catalonia when it comes to the national issue, the People's Party. We visited the Catalan branch of the Spanish President's Party at another event also held in Barcelona. In fact, a large number of political meetings these days have taken place in the Catalan capital. Around 1.1 million citizens are called to vote in the city in 2 days' time. That is 1 in 5 voters in the whole country.
The People's Party expects in this election to reap the benefits of having led the measures against Catalonia's independence. But according to the polls, the party that deposed the Catalan government and suspended its self-rule will not get as many votes as it would like. Only 5 to 10% of voters are expected to back the Catalan branch of Mariano Rajoy's party as a way to stop independence.
What we need right now, I think it's we need go back to normal. You know, we need that the economy starts growing again, create employment, and at the end of the day, you know, what we want is to go back to normal. And that's why I think Popular Party would be the best option for these elections.
So we think that what the government of Spain did to reject the Catalan illegal referendum was the right thing to do.
The party is unlikely to match the 2015 election results when it gained 11 seats. In fact, the final tally might be closer to its all-time low of 6 seats in 1988. As a branch of the Spanish People's Party, it is conservative and clearly against independence. In fact, its motto, Spain's solution, is explicit enough. The People's Party has mostly campaigned in the Barcelona area, both in the more humble and the better-off areas that are traditionally unionists.
We are here in a hotel in one of the wealthiest areas of Barcelona, Las Corts. In fact, one of the targets of the People's Party here in Catalonia is urban, wealthy areas such as this one. Most of the attendees here are elderly people, and this can be an issue for the People's Party, who's fighting with Ciudadanos for the unionist conservative vote.
Indeed, the younger generations lean towards newer options such as Ciutadans. Albiol's main strategy to halt this trend is to appear as the most hardline activist against independence.
que desde el Partido Popular no vamos a permitir que se indulte a aquellos que han provocado la principal fractura de la sociedad catalana en los últimos 40 años.
The People's Party would approve of a unionist government, but at the same time, it is competing against its potential allies, Ciutadans and the Socialists. Their argument is that Spain's ruling party has so far been the most effective at stopping independence. That is why Rajoy has visited Catalonia 5 times during the campaign. We will soon see whether this has been effective or counterproductive.
Now, let's talk about economy. Today, a group of prestigious professionals in the field defended the strength of the Catalan economy despite recent political events. In a statement, the group of 7 Catalan economists, which includes former Minister of Economy Andreu Mas-Colell, highlighted the strong GDP growth in Catalonia's industrial sector. They also stated that all societies go through moments of uncertainty, specifically referring to recent political events that can have an effect. But in Catalonia, they said, the economy remains robust, despite all that has happened recently, including the police violence on October 1st, referendum day. As temperatures go down, more parts of the country are covered with snow, especially in the Pyrenees. The mountain region draws much of the firefighters' attention in winter. Indeed, there's more to being a firefighter in Catalonia than saving people from burning buildings. One particular part of the fire brigade, GRAE, dedicates itself to carrying out rescue services in the harder-to-reach parts of the country, such as the high mountains.
How do you carry out a rescue operation after an avalanche? This is one of the things some Catalan firefighters practice today in a ski resort town of La Molina. In fact, the fire brigade has doubled its services in regions like La Molina over the last 7 years. Among the emergencies that firefighters must be prepared for are avalanches. High up in the mountains, firefighters check the operation of the avalanche victims detector, a device that gives the exact location of somebody who's been buried under snow, if they are carrying it, that is. As nature can be dangerous, the head of GRAE, which carries out special rescue services, had an important message for anybody who plans to engage in outdoor activities, highlighting the importance of being prepared.
El que cal és sempre tenir en compte de planificar l'activitat que anem a fer, és a dir, quina previsió meteorològica tindrem, si anem a fer activitat a la neu o fora de límits controlats, quin és el risc allà.
When working in freezing temperatures, especially in the Pyrenees, the firefighters also need to be prepared for dealing with people with hypothermia, as well as fractures or bones caused by avalanches. In the case of hikers who find themselves lost but not injured, and would also advise that they continue walking, even in a circle, as metabolic activity can keep hypothermia at bay. But just in case, it's always good to know somebody has got your back covered if you find yourself in trouble out in the wild.
And with this, we end our show for the last official day of campaigning. Make sure to keep an eye on our outlets tomorrow for information about the elections. We'll be back on Thursday with 2 shows, the second one with the election results already on the table. But before we go, we leave you with an unusual concert. The iconic music of John Williams, including the soundtrack from Star Wars, performed at the modernist Palau de la Música Hall by the Orquestra Sinfónica Cámara Música. Some of Catalonia's candidates are Star Wars fans, and who knows, some may even take advantage of tomorrow's day of electoral silence to take a break and go see the new installment of the saga. We hope you enjoy, and we'll see you on December 21st.